rival commanders admit the truth quietly. The F-15EX has become terrifying. The fear does not come from the size or the simple speed of the airplane. The real terror comes from what the F-15EX can now see, what it can sense, and what it can silence. This newest fighter hides a powerful, new kind of weapon. This weapon does not use guns, and it does not use missiles. Instead, it uses an unseen shield that is wrapped completely around the jet's metal skin. This shield is called the Eagle Passive Active Warning Survivability System, or EPAWS. This name holds the great technology that has changed an already deadly fighter into a hunter that the enemy cannot hunt. This is total electronic dominance, and it leaves no doubt about who controls the air. The F-15EX does not rely on old, simple ways of surviving in air combat, like being totally invisible or just flying very fast to escape danger. Instead, the F-15EX follows a smarter path. It uses its mind to completely defeat the enemy's radar systems. The EPAWS system always scans the air, watching every moment. It detects every single signal around the jet. It quickly identifies every signal. In less than a blink of an eye, the system knows everything. It knows which radar belongs to an enemy missile battery. It knows which radar belongs to an early warning site. It even knows which radar belongs to an enemy aircraft that is trying to sneak up. This is total information power. The system does much more than just warn the pilot. It decides the next move all by itself, acting instantly. It can aggressively jam the enemy signals. It can send false messages to deceive the enemy sensors. It can even make the actual aircraft vanish from the enemy screens completely. This creates massive digital confusion all across the battlefield. The pilot flies straight through this total electronic chaos, but the aircraft is safely turning the enemy's own systems against them. This is not just a plan. This is real. EPAWS is fully active and working, built into the U.S. Air Force's newest F-15s by BAE Systems. During its difficult tests, the system showed it could work completely on its own, without any human help. It reacted to threats faster than any person could possibly react. The result is a machine that fiercely protects itself in total silence, cutting through the electronic noise with great precision. In a real fight, this means the F-15EX survives in places where any other aircraft would surely be shot down and destroyed. It means the jet flies into heavily defended enemy airspace, not as a target ready for destruction, but as a ghost that sees everything while remaining completely unseen by the systems trying to track it.
Before we get to that, I need your help. I'm trying to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I need your help. So I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe and help me out.
This is the identity-binding moment. The audience aligns with the competence and order of the US system, watching enemy chaos. For enemy commanders, this new reality changes the whole feeling of the conflict. The F-15EX is not invisible in the way a stealth jet is built, yet its defenses make it totally unpredictable and nearly impossible to track or lock onto. Enemy radar operators may pick up a quick signal, but EPAWS instantly bends what they see. The system can turn a solid, clear target into a mere flicker on the screen. It can turn the one real aircraft into many false targets, showing many jets where there is only one. It completely overwhelms the enemy sensors until nothing they see can be trusted. The deep fear the enemy feels does not come from the jet's shape, but from the total uncertainty it forces upon them. When rival commanders can no longer trust their own radar, their entire battle strategy collapses into sudden humiliation. Their weakness is exposed even before a single missile is fired. This is the tribal, male-male dynamic. Adversaries are humiliated, and US dominance is asserted. The F-15 plane has been trusted for many decades. It is known for its sheer power and how easily its design can be adapted and improved. The shocking reality of this new version is how technology has completely remade it. The outside of the plane looks familiar, but the mind inside the jet has totally changed and grown. EPAWS does not add extra weight that would slow down the jet's great agility or limit how many weapons it can carry. It fits perfectly inside the jet's main structure, keeping every single weapon attachment point free for maximum firepower. The F-15EX can still carry up to 22 missiles, which is more than any fighter in the world. Now, it has electronic defenses that match or even beat those of 5th-generation stealth jets. This combination is totally dominant, massive firepower protected by digital stealth. This is what forces our rivals to completely rethink all their military plans. The fear is not that one F-15EX will appear on their screens. The fear is that entire squadrons of these jets could fly in perfect coordinated silence, jamming and deceiving the enemy across hundreds of miles of air. Each jet becomes both a heavy weapon platform and a perfect electronic shield. It is an electronic warfare platform that is perfectly disguised as a deadly fighter. This new, perfect balance of attack and defense means the F-15X completely blurs the line between a powerful fighter and a dedicated jamming aircraft. It no longer needs other jets to protect it, because it brings its own ultimate, silent protection. This is an escalation, novelty, and capability. At the very center of EPs is a fast network of advanced sensors and high-speed computer processors. These parts can instantly find the exact location of any electronic threat in real time. The jet does not rely on old, simple intelligence feeds from far away. Instead, the jet creates its own perfect, real-time map of all the electronic signals around it. It identifies exactly where an enemy radar is. It identifies exactly what type of radar it is, and it identifies exactly what weapon that radar is guiding. This total, complete information allows our pilots to strike smarter and with more confidence. They choose not just when to fight, but the exact place where they want to engage. This instant, perfect awareness completely changes air combat tactics for all time. At the same time, the F-15EX uses Raytheon's advanced AN/APG-82VX ASO radar. This radar uses special gallium nitride technology. This new technology lets the F-15EX see much farther than any previous version. The radar detects enemy targets hundreds of kilometers away, yet it uses no extra power to do so. The new gallium nitride parts give the radar much more range and clearer vision. They do this while creating much less heat. This allows the radar to operate longer and more quietly than ever before. The radar and EPOS work together perfectly, creating a closed, powerful circle of complete awareness. One system actively searches for the enemy, and the other system fiercely protects the jet. Both systems constantly adapt to the fight as it changes. When one system senses danger, the other instantly shapes the perfect response. This perfect pairing gives the F-15EX something very rare: the advantage of first look, first shoot, first survive. It detects an enemy long before the enemy can detect it. It fires accurately from a completely safe distance outside of the enemy's engagement zones, and it remains totally untouched by any counterattacks. In a world where survival depends on just a few milliseconds, this sequence is the very definition of a decisive victory.
Before we get to that, I need your help. I'm trying to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I need your help. So I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe and help me out.
This is the relief loop. Tension builds, enemy is there. Relief, we saw them first, we shot first. New challenge, we must continue the fight. Commanders call the jet terrifying because it completely changes the cost of attacking it. Every time an enemy radar sends out a pulse against an F-15EX, that enemy risks instantly revealing their own location to our powerful sensors. This single mistake invites swift and brutal retaliation. EPA-WSS is more than just a defensive tool. It is a strategic weapon of deterrence. When our adversaries know that their entire electronic systems can be easily blinded or tricked, their options for action simply disappear. This is the ultimate schadenfreude. The enemy's best equipment is turned into their worst weakness. For nations that rely completely on large radar networks on the ground, this powerful technology undermines the entire foundation of their air defense. It changes the electronic environment from a reliable shield into a huge liability. Every time they turn on a radar, that signal becomes a perfect target for the F-15EX. every time they get a missile lock, it is a catastrophic, final mistake. The great confidence they once had in their control is replaced by the deep fear of complete uncertainty. This humiliation happens the moment the F-15EX enters the battle space. Inside the cockpit, our pilots feel strong because of this total transformation. The system gives them a perfect, real-time picture of every threat without needing them to constantly enter information. It takes the total chaos of the battlefield and filters it into total clarity, showing them only what truly matters for survival and victory. The pilot's workload is massively reduced. This allows them to focus only on tactics, instead of just struggling for survival. In training simulations, pilots have said that EPOS makes them feel like they are flying inside a protective dome of silence. In a real fight, this feeling means they have a longer time to react. They make much smarter decisions, and their chances of survival are the highest they can be. For years, critics doubted if modernizing an older fourth-generation fighter could keep up with newer, advanced stealth aircraft. The F-15EX upgrades have answered that doubt completely. It combines the known, great reliability of its strong airframe with next-generation electronics that fully match the advanced systems of the F-35. Yet, unlike stealth jets that must give up weapon capacity to stay invisible, the Eagle II carries everything. It carries bombs, it carries missiles, it carries sensors, and now it carries one of the most advanced electronic warfare suites on Earth. It has perfectly proven that the idea of the F-15 becoming too old was nothing but an enemy illusion. The math behind the cost also shifted completely in our favor. Because both EPOSS and the advanced ESA radar fit directly into existing production lines, the Air Force gains major capability faster and at a much lower cost. These new systems can be put on the new F-15EX, but also on many older Strike Eagles. This instantly makes the entire fleet stronger and more survivable overnight. This powerful ability to upgrade the whole fleet is why the Air Force increased its order for the F-15EX. They expanded the planned fleet from 98 jets to 129 jets. Each new aircraft added to the fleet simply multiplies the confusion the enemy will face across their radar networks. This is a clear strategic escalation. The main reason why the F-15EX is called terrifying is its total information dominance. In modern warfare, the side that controls the electromagnetic spectrum is the side that totally controls the fight. EPOSS was built for this exact domain. It listens, it learns, and it reacts much faster than any adversary can possibly adapt. When multiple F-15EXs fly together, they share all this information instantly. They form an invisible, powerful web of total awareness. If the enemy tries to jam or trick the system, this only makes our network stronger. Every single enemy signal they send out becomes new data for us to exploit and use against them. This is not crude brute force. It is smart, adaptive intelligence used for guaranteed survival. This massive upgrade also changes how our allied forces fight. F-15EX jets equipped with EPOSS can fly perfect escort for our stealth bombers. They can fiercely defend our tanker aircraft. They can clear attack paths for many other friendly aircraft. Their powerful radar allows them to work closely with naval ships, finding threats far beyond what the human eye can see. In large joint operations, this fighter jet becomes both a scout and a shield. It gives our commanders real-time knowledge about contested regions. This ability to work with every part of our force makes the system more than just a simple weapon. It is a massive advantage that is shared across all military domains. The fear that our adversaries feel is not based on mere rumors. It is based on cold, rational facts. In electronic warfare, if you can be seen, you are immediately vulnerable. When the F-15EX enters a battle space, it turns that very principle completely against the enemy. Every radar ping they send, every missile seeker they launch, every single attempt they make to find the F-15X only adds to the jet's own library of perfect countermeasures. Over time, the jet simply gets smarter. It becomes harder to predict and totally impossible to defeat. That learning power ensures the F-15EX stays lethal, even as our opponents try to upgrade their old defenses. There is a deep psychological element to this dominance. Rivals have always seen the familiar shape of the F-15 as a clear symbol of American air superiority. Now, that familiar shape hides something they cannot copy or prepare for: a complete, invisible control over their own senses and sensors. It is not the jet's physical outline that matters anymore. It is what happens when they try to see it. Pilots who have flown against the F-15EX in training talk about the sudden, intense frustration of losing track of it in the middle of a simulated fight. Their radar screens flicker between false readings and total, terrifying silence. This is the kind of confusion that breaks the enemy's morale before the combat even truly begins. This is the dopamine anticipation. The enemy watches their screens, anticipating a lock, only to be denied. In defense briefings, analysts call the combination of EPOS and the APG-82VX radar a force equalizer. Against modern, complex threats, this system cancels out electronic attacks and identifies targets long before they are even in sight. Against their older legacy systems, the F-15EX dominates completely and decisively. The gallium nitride structure keeps the radar's power strong and stable while extending its reach far out. This balance once seemed impossible to achieve. With less wasted energy and higher reliability, the radar works much longer without overheating, supporting our critical missions deep into hostile territory. Every single upgrade serves one simple principle: survival comes through total, complete awareness. Instead of physically hiding, the F-15EX hides intellectually. It knows the enemy better than the enemy knows itself. This perfect awareness defines modern air warfare, where information replaces heavy armor. In simulations, this superior awareness often decides the outcome of the fight before any missile is even launched. The jet that sees first, deceives first, and reacts first does not need to take any damage. It ends the fight before it can start. This guarantees intermittent reward through smaller wins of detection and deception before the final missile resolution. The logic is simple and brutal. Whoever detects first, locks first, and shoots first wins. The F-15EX was designed to ensure that this entire sequence of victory belongs completely and only to its pilot. The new radar is not just more powerful. It completely changes what power means in the sky. It turns distance into dominance. It turns invisibility into total control. It turns information into the means of destruction. The new gallium nitride components can handle much higher power and send out much stronger signals while creating less heat. This lets the radar see farther, react faster, and resist enemy jamming better than any radar ever installed on an F-15. The radar beam can move so fast that it can scan the air, track targets, and attack all in the same perfect moment. It does this across many different frequencies without ever revealing its own exact position. Its special low probability of intercept mode lets the jet scan in total silence. It is like whispering instead of shouting its presence. Enemy sensors, even the most advanced ones, struggle mightily to pick up its quiet transmissions. Our pilot gains the ultimate edge, the first look, first shoot advantage. When the enemy target finally realizes it is being tracked, our missile is already on its way. This is the near miss for the enemy, as they think they are safe until the missile is on the rail. The F-15EX's radar is directly linked to advanced processing and sensor fusion systems. It does not just see, it fully understands the threat. It takes signals from the radar, from infrared systems, from data links, and from electronic warfare sensors, and it merges them all into one perfect picture. The pilot no longer has to look at separate screens or sort through conflicting data. Instead, the cockpit shows a single, live, perfect map. Targets are instantly ranked by danger. Threats are identified completely. The best engagement options are already calculated. This system decides in seconds what older pilots needed minutes to figure out. This speed is not just a convenience, it is life itself. This smart radar works perfectly with the Eagle passive, active, warning, survivability system. When the radar finds an enemy signal source, EPWSS checks it, identifies the threat, and instantly decides whether to jam, trick, or evade. The F-15EX can jam the enemy while still perfectly tracking them. It can trick their sensors while guiding one of its own missiles. It can stay locked onto its target even while it is under a heavy electronic attack. This dual function, radar and electronic warfare working perfectly side by side, creates a new type of air dominance. It is offensive electronic stealth without needing a stealthy shape. The result is a fighter that sees farther and strikes first. The AN/APG-82 V-Bot-X radar gives detection ranges that go far beyond any previous limit. This allows the F-15EX to launch its weapons before it even enters the enemy's dangerous engagement zone. This is paired with its huge missile capacity, which turns the aircraft into a long-range arsenal. It can carry up to 12 AM-120 AMRAAM missiles, each one with its own active radar seeker and a mid-course guidance data link. When this massive number of weapons is combined with early detection, the outcome is not a fair fight. It is an execution. In long-range combat, distance itself is a weapon of deception. The enemy believes they are safe until our radar proves they are completely exposed. The F-15EX can detect and engage threats before those threats even turn on their own sensors. This gives the pilot the complete freedom to dictate every single engagement. No other older fighter has this level of total control. The power of the APG-82VX makes sure that milliseconds, which are the difference between life and death, belong only to our pilot inside the Eagle II. This fighter is the ultimate example of rituality, the constant, systematic process of finding, engaging, and dominating. The pilot's workload is massively reduced. All information is shown with perfect clarity and purpose. Targets are displayed with their exact distance, speed, and the chance of a successful kill. The computer ranks threats by danger. It calculates the perfect missile path. Every sweep of the radar becomes a complete decision framework. The aircraft no longer just reacts, it predicts what the enemy will do. This prediction turns fights that once needed quick judgment into precise, automatic actions. The F-15EX can carry air-to-air missiles, precision bombs, and standoff weapons, all on a single flight. It can lift 29,500 pounds of ordnance, more than any fighter on the planet. This level of total firepower gives it complete authority over the sky that is unmatched by any fourth or fifth generation aircraft. The sheer quantity of missiles completely overwhelms any enemy defenses and saturates their sensors. The jet carries the load of several older jets, launching huge volleys of fire that completely humiliate the enemy's defenses before they can even properly react. Its missile loadout is decisive. 12 AMRAAMs give it unmatched reach in air-to-air combat. This makes the aircraft a whole fleet of weapons, one single pilot commanding an invisible wall of missiles that moves exactly as he decides. Enemy pilots know that if they face one EX, they are actually facing a dozen potential deaths at once. The F-15EX is the perfect guardian for our stealth bombers. It acts as a bridge between different eras, pairing brutal force with modern intelligence. It combines the one thing that stealth jets lack, extreme endurance, with a weapon payload so vast that it completely changes how air dominance is established. The X can fly a combat distance of roughly 1,100 miles, much farther than any stealth fighter. It can stay on station when others must return to base. This incredible endurance changes the jet from a quick tactical fighter into a strategic guardian. In this powerful partnership, the stealth jets find and mark the targets in silence. The Eagle then fires the missiles from a totally safe range. This is a tag team strategy built on distance and total trust. The logic is simple but brutally effective. Let the stealth jets sneak in, then let the F-15X unleash a sudden, overwhelming storm of missiles from a range too far for the enemy to fight back. The electronic warfare suite and sensor fusion system form a massive, invisible shield around our bomber formations. The jet's EPOSS detects every enemy radar lock, completely scrambles their tracking systems, and utterly confuses their missile seekers. In a real fight, this means the F-15X is not only defending the bombers with its heavy missiles, it is also protecting them with total electronic silence. The enemy is forced to respect the quiet threat they cannot see, only to be humiliated by the powerful, visible threat they cannot stop. The final message of the F-15EX resonates far beyond airfields and defense reports. The jet completely exposes the limits of over-reliance on stealth and proves that visible strength, properly modernized, can still dominate the invisible. As the US expands production of the F-15EX, the global air combat order is quietly shifting. The Eagle II does not chase trends, it resets them. Its mix of speed, range, and network connectivity makes it the perfect anchor for Allied air power. To operate alongside it is to align with proven power and guaranteed competence. The F-15EX has become a mirror held up to modern military thinking. It forces nations to ask whether innovation means replacing or refining, whether progress lies in abandoning or improving. And in answering, they confront the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes the future is built on the past that never stopped working. The resurgence of the F-15EX is more than just an upgrade. It is a revelation. Foreign air forces see it, study it, and adjust because they must. It represents not a return to the old, but a complete reassertion of principles that outlast technology, strength, reliability, and total control. The Eagle flies again, not as a relic, but as clear proof that dominance evolves, and that even in an age of stealth, the loudest, most dominant message in the sky is still the one that cannot be ignored. The F-15EX is the definitive statement of American air power: superior intelligence, overwhelming firepower, and guaranteed survival. Its dominance is not negotiable. What you've seen is only the beginning. America's power is just getting started. On your screen is the next video. Click the video, it opens right away, and you'll watch US jets and technology strike even harder.